And number 5, passion. You see, every great entrepreneur you see out there, they are passionate about what they currently do. They are passionate about what they are doing. It is passion that will drive you when every other thing fails. Hi, welcome again to this channel. And if this is your first time here, this channel is dedicated to sharing relevant knowledge from entrepreneurship, business, personal development, leadership, growth hacks, and loads of content you definitely would learn from. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so as to get notified when a new video is up. I'm Oghoghozino from Works, a multiple award digital agency in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an entrepreneur with amazing experience to share with you. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining what is entrepreneurship and its characteristics. So sit back, relax, and follow me as we begin. A quote from one of my entrepreneurial mentors says, entrepreneurship is not just a label, it is a lifestyle. In 2018, I was privileged to speak at a conference on entrepreneurship, and I can remember one of the things I did was I engaged the audience. I told the audience to do something, which I think you also should do. I told them to take 1 minute to think about a great entrepreneur. 1 minute to think about a great entrepreneur. And one quality or one attribute that they see in their lives. A one-word adjective to qualify that great entrepreneur that comes to mind. And so I started getting responses. Someone said bold. Another said creative. Another said drive. Another said intelligent. Someone said risk taker, decisive, competitive, fearless. And it went on and on and on and on. And those are exactly some qualities of some great entrepreneurs. Just as you've also thought and listed a few qualities of great entrepreneurs, I think they all had a start point, which is defining what success means to them. Every great person you see today, every great entrepreneur, everybody has their definition of success. Even you yourself, success might mean something entirely different from what I know success to be. So these guys understood what they want as success. They defined what they want as success, as that is what drives their move to becoming successful in business, to becoming a successful human, to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Honestly, there are loads of teachings and answers to the question, who is an entrepreneur? And sometimes it gets controversial, but I'd say an entrepreneur is someone who sees a need and takes up the financial risks of starting a business to meet that need. It sees a need, it takes up the financial risks involved to start a business to meet that need. So a good point to understanding the question, who is an entrepreneur, might just be simply understanding who an entrepreneur is not. Let's take an illustration. Say we have John. John works at a grocery store, GOT Groceries, and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there's been tremendous decline in sales because customers are unable to get to the store to pick up items. And so John, who is creative, thought about a brilliant idea. And he thought and said, why can't we move our products online? People tend to purchase these products online, and also we get a logistic or delivery bikes that takes the products that have been ordered to the houses of those customers. Brilliant idea. Now, John was excited about the idea, and he took it to his boss, discussed it with his boss, and GOT Groceries implemented that, started a website, they launched a website, put up the products on the website, got delivery bikes, and they implemented that, and sales begins to increase. Now, from our definition, John here is not an entrepreneur because he did not take on the financial risk. Yeah, he saw the need, he did see the need, he saw the need, but then he didn't take the financial risk involved. The company, which is GOT Groceries, took the financial risks. So John isn't an entrepreneur by our definition. If John had taken up the financial risks involved, say he built the e-commerce website, the website loads the product on the website, got delivery bikes by himself, and partner with the company to lease those bikes for the company. Yeah, then we say John is an entrepreneur. And that is what most great entrepreneurs has done. They see a need, they take up the financial risk to start a business that meets that particular need. The business fails, they come back to it again, they restart, they re-strategize, they do all they need to do, the business still fails, they still stay at it, and eventually it succeeds. Then they see another need, they take up another financial risk to start a business that meets that particular need, and that is how they go on and go on and go on to become who they are today. So an entrepreneur is anybody that sees a need, take up the financial risk involved in starting a business to meet that particular need. According to Global Entrepreneurship, over 100 million businesses are launched every year. That's 11,000 businesses are launched per hour, which is 3 businesses per second. 3 businesses are launched per second. So you see, great entrepreneurs are not sleeping. They start a business, or they see a need, they take up the financial risks to start a business that meets that need. The business does not succeed, they stay on it until it succeeds, and once it's growing, they see another need, take up another financial risk to start another business, to start the business that meets that particular need. And that is basically what these great entrepreneurs have done. The statistics says 100 million businesses are launched every year. That's 11,000 businesses per hour, which is 3 businesses launched every second. You see, all of this can only be achieved if your entrepreneurship journey is characterized by those qualities we identified in those great entrepreneurs. So there are characteristics that are associated with entrepreneurship, and I will share just a few of them. Number 1 is action. Every great entrepreneur you see take action. They don't just sit there. You know, some people tell you, you ask them, how far? You shared an idea with me. What's up with it? I'm still strategizing. You see great entrepreneurs, they take action. They take action. They don't just sit there and keep thinking. They understand that this need has to be met. And you know one thing I've come to understand myself. Once there's a need, it leaves the heavenlies, it comes to the earth, and it looks for who to run with in form of a dream, a vision, an idea, or something. If a dream picks you or a vision picks you, you are so privileged. I mean, we don't have the choices to pick vision. We don't have the choice to pick dreams. Once there's a need, it leaves the heavenlies, it comes to the earth, and looks for who it can run with. And if it stays with you for a while and you're unable to run with it, it leaves you and moves to somebody else. And that is why these guys don't joke with it. They take action. Once they identify a need, they see the need, they take action immediately. That's one attribute or one characteristic of entrepreneurship. Action, take action. And number 2, risk. Every entrepreneur takes risks. Great entrepreneurs, they take risks. Even if you remember the definition we just looked at. Identifying a need, there's a need, you take on the financial risks. So every entrepreneur takes risks. See, you cannot be a successful entrepreneur without taking risks. You definitely will take risks. Now, the difference between some entrepreneurs and some entrepreneurs, the difference between some entrepreneurs is their ability to take smart risk. I mean, smart risks, not just risk. Now, that's a different topic entirely. But as an entrepreneur, you must take risks. Risk is one of the characteristics of entrepreneurship. So you must attempt things. You must take a risk. And number 3, quick failure recovery. Every entrepreneur, the great entrepreneurs you thought about, every of them has failed. See, they have failed, but they recovered quickly. Quick recovery. Quick failure recovery. I started something, I failed in it, I don't dwell in it so much. Now you see, for me, failure doesn't mean I failed. I do a particular thing and it doesn't work. It means I didn't take the right steps that I'm meant to take to achieve that thing. So I see it as a wrong step which I've taken. So I learn from that and I come back to it and take the proper step. So quick failure recovery is a characteristic of entrepreneurship. You don't need to dwell in the failure. You failed, yeah, you know you failed in this particular thing. Move on from it. When you failed, you learned one or two things. Now those things you learned, you apply again, and then you move to the next phase. Number 4, continually evolving. You see, as an entrepreneur, you just have to keep evolving. In your industry, you need to understand what it is. You need to learn the new trends. You need to learn what's currently going on. You need to learn the new technology. You just have to keep evolving. You learn every single day. You learn, and you keep evolving. You cannot just stay at a particular point. You wouldn't grow. If you check the life of great entrepreneurs, if you notice, I've not mentioned names of great entrepreneurs. There are a lot. There are loads of great entrepreneurs to learn from. Just go check them out. Read their biographies. You will see. I mean, you mentioned attributes from them. One of the characteristics of entrepreneurship is continual evolving, continuously evolving. So you just have to keep evolving every single day. So that's another characteristic of entrepreneurship. And number 5, passion. You see, every great entrepreneur you see out there, they are passionate about what they currently do. They are passionate about what they are doing. It is passion that will drive you when every other thing fails. I mean, you get tired sometimes. Everyone gets tired. They also got tired. But the passion to see that business succeed, the passion to meet that need, the passion to see that dream through is what keeps them going. We get tired time to time. Many times, I've gotten tired myself. But the passion to continually drive improvement, creative improvement, is what still keeps me on, is what still fuels me, is what still takes me on. So guys, passion is a huge characteristic of entrepreneurship. You don't have passion, very soon the business dies. You don't have passion, very soon everything dies. So guys, these are the things that these great entrepreneurs do. I mean, they make these characteristics their lifestyle. They live these characteristics every day of their life. Just as we've said, they discover a need or they see a need, they take on the financial risk involved in starting a business to meet that particular need. They fail, they come back to it, they do it until it succeeds, and they see another need, and they keep doing that and doing that. And these 5 characteristics are what is inherent in every of those entrepreneurs. If you take some time to study their life, you see these 5 characteristics in them. They've taken these characteristics into themselves. They live these characteristics. Remember when I started, I said one of my great entrepreneurial mentors, he said, his quote says, entrepreneurship is not just a label, it is a lifestyle. And that is what these guys have been able to do with these 5 characteristics of entrepreneurship. So guys, entrepreneurship is actually not just a label, it is a lifestyle. I believe this video has been able to explain what entrepreneurship really is and its characteristics. So if you find this video helpful, please share with others and encourage them to subscribe to this channel. Also, you can share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Thank you for your time. See you in my next video. In this video, I'll be sharing something I recently learned that has begun helping me learn how to manage my ability to focus more. And also started helping me master the word called procrastination, even in this COVID-19 pandemic. Hi, welcome again to this channel. I'm Oghoghozino from Agitaworks, a multiple award digital agency in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an entrepreneur with amazing experiences. I'm learning to lead and here to share relevant knowledge. If you're new here, please subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so as to get notified when a new video is up. Also see links to previous videos in the description box below. And if you find them helpful, please share to other people so they could learn. Right, let's begin. Recently, a poll was carried out by Mind Valley about the current problems, the current challenges that people are being faced with even in this COVID-19 pandemic. What isn't surprising about the result of the poll is the fear around money with job losses, economic downturns, no money in circulation, and all of those things. I think about 29% of people voted that as the current challenges or problems they are being faced with, even in this COVID-19 pandemic. What is so fascinating about the results is that other people voted another feeling, which is the dominant feeling a lot of people are currently having. And that is the feeling of lack of focus and procrastination. I lack focus, it's difficult for me to focus, and I keep procrastinating and procrastinating and procrastinating. So the question is, why are so many people having difficulty in focusing and then procrastinating? The answer Steve Kotler gave was just golden. I mean, his answers and explanation are absolutely valid. Steve Kotler started his explanation with norepinephrine. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but then norepinephrine is a naturally occurring chemical in the body that is released into the blood as a hormone when the brain perceives that a stressful event has occurred. I mean, I hope I'm able to explain that, but I mean, you get the point, you understand what I mean. So he went on to say that it is understandable that we are all up against series of fears the brain is not prepared to have. We are faced with exponential threats, and the brain literally is linear by design. So it cannot handle exponential threats appropriately. So when the virus spreads and we see the numbers increases and new cases and we see how people die and all of those, the brain can only react to this with uncertainty and anxiety. He also said when dealing with exponential threats like the COVID-19 pandemic, where each day the numbers increases exponentially, and we'll understand that it's a probability kind of situation, such that we are not so sure of how to get out of this situation. Just maybe the economy might nosedive or the virus get out of control and all that and all that and all that. He said the brain doesn't know how to handle such probability threats. So what it does is it limits your option and then you freak out. When the threat is so big and beyond what you can control, it inflicts fear inside of you, and then the chemicals are released into your blood and the brain freezes and it paralyzes you. Then no creativity, no drive, no focus, and then you begin procrastinating. Well, the solution is we just have to chunk the problem into smaller bits. What can I do today? What can I do right now? Like chunk them into smaller bits. But then if we want to fix these problems, we just have to fix the underlying problem, which is fear. Now, how can we tackle the fear problem? 6 basic things he mentioned we can do to calm our nervous system down. 3 of those things works on the body, while the other 3 works on the brain. 3 things helps the body with energy, and 3 things helps the brain. Now the body. Number 1, get enough sleep. Having enough sleep helps calm the nervous system. Number 2, hydration and nutrition. Take food that has high nutrients inside of them and drink lots of water. And number 3, social support. This gives so much energy to your body. Call people, speak to people, video call people, watch funny videos, do stuff that gives you energy, and that will calm your nervous system down. Now, moving on to the brain, number 1, that's number 4, daily gratitude. Now, this is a practice that helps calm you down. Pick up a piece of paper or pick up your notepad and write the things that you are grateful for. Just think about things. Write out stuff that you are most grateful for. When you do, you will feel the gratitude and it will really help calm your nervous system down. And number 2, which is number 5, mindfulness, meditation and breath work. I mean, we all know what this is, calmness. And number 3, which is number 6, exercising the brain. I started something recently and I'm right-handed, but I try to do things with my left hand. I mean, it's not the regular thing I do, so my brain tends to work. It's a way to exercise the brain. So these are some things that I also do that has been helping me manage in this time. Ideally, it's said to be effective to do one of these 6 things daily, but as it stands in this time, you need all 6 on a daily basis in order to kill fear and as a foundation to building and improving performances. I believe this video has been able to help you understand what could be done to manage fear in a bit to staying focused and fixing the procrastination problem. So if you find this video helpful, please share to others so they could learn from it. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye. And I realized that most of the questions asked are the same questions in the minds of a lot of entrepreneurs and startups, which are still unanswered. So in this video, I'll be answering most of those questions. Hi, it's Oghoghozino again from Agita Works, a multiple award-winning digital agency in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to sharing relevant knowledge on entrepreneurship, business, leadership, personal development, growth hacks, and loads of content you definitely would learn from. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so as to get notified when a new video is up. So this video is about entrepreneurship questions and answers. Over the years, I've had a series of interviews about my entrepreneurial journey, how it all started, and how I got to this point. And I realized that most of the questions asked are the same questions in the minds of a lot of entrepreneurs and startups, which are still unanswered. So in this video, I'll be answering most of those questions. And I know you will catch one or two, so follow me as we begin. Okay, it all started as an intuition actually, and back then while I was working, I used to have an 8 to 5 job, but then close at night. Before the job, I understood that there were some things within my control and there were some things I cannot control. So I'm able to make some things happen while some things are beyond my powers. And it made me understood the relevancy of work. Work I mean now is getting the job done, not just the talking, like work in itself. At some point, I got into music and I met with a couple of persons, to teach me how to play. I was playing the guitar first, and I picked interest in the trumpet, and I was like, I met someone, and I want to learn this, and he was like, it's not for babies. Yeah, and I needed to prove him wrong that I would learn this thing regardless. So I picked up the trumpet, I bought one, I picked it up, started rehearsing. I mean, I rehearsed to a point that within a short period of time, I outplayed that same person. So it all made me understood the relevancy of work. I mean, the doing itself. So while I was working where I worked before now, I mean, great work environment, brilliant place to work. I mean, I learned a whole lot. Very rigid environment. You don't want to know. And I mean, I hope my boss, my then boss, watch this video. See, that place, I must tell you, it was good. Honestly, it was good. The way we work there, you cannot press your phone. Who are you to press your phone? You resume in the morning, you have a work package. Now, you must finish your work package before you leave the office. So if you finish your work package by 10 p.m., good. If you don't finish it that day, you are just done for. So the way work was there, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. People tend to ask me then, how were you able to survive this long period? Because I worked with the company for 4 years and some months. So they asked me, how were you able to survive the company working almost 5 years? And I'm like, you understand what your boss wants. Give him what he wants, and that's it. So I understood the relevance of work, and while I was there, I was doing my good stuff, doing my work as it should be, and I like work basically. So we tend to align, myself and my boss. I like work. I like it. Because I have come to realize that, see, you don't work, you don't earn. You don't work, you don't get nothing. So I understood that, and I try to work. So I do a lot to make myself better at the job and all of those stuff. So I knew that at some point I'd leave the company. Definitely, I knew. And it all started, my entrepreneurial journey started as an intuition from God, basically. While I was working, I had the opportunity to converse or to meet with a lot of persons and businesses. So I realized a lot of businesses are struggling. So it was like a need, again, like I said, it was an intuition from God. Starting Agital was an intuition from God. So it was a need to be met, and I needed to answer that call, because when it all came, it started with the digital ages approaching, which is now. And a lot of businesses, a lot of organizations, people, a lot of individuals are way behind. And for them to thrive that digital age, some things has to be done. Basically, it was a call to help business succeed, help individuals thrive and match the digital age. And I responded to the call. So while it came, and the name of the business was given, so it wasn't like, okay, I scribbled something together. It was given. The business name is Age Digital Works, which is simply works for the digital age. So we only merged age and digital to give us Agital. So that's how we have Agital Works. So it came in, and when I decided to quit my job, I met my boss. He just knew. He knew it was time for me to leave. So I went to his office and I told him, sir, I needed to see you. And he was like, yeah, he knows that I'm leaving. And great memories. Honestly, great memories. I loved the company. Like, amazing set of persons. I really loved the company. And he prayed for me and was like, we would see at the top. Really, he prayed for me. And we shook hands and I left. We are still friends. I mean, I still go to the company time to time to just go play with them. That was the way it was. So when I resigned from my job, you won't believe that I resigned on Friday. On Monday, I got a job. It wasn't Monday. I got an email on Sunday evening. Was it Sunday? I saw it Sunday evening. And I checked, it was a job I didn't even apply for. I was like, oh, wow. God, are you trying to tell me that you wanted me to resign from this company to this one because of this? I mean, it was good. Salary was exactly double. 100% increment. Like, double. You don't want to believe, like, I was like, eh? At the company, in my previous company, in Harry Baker, I resumed 8 o'clock, and I closed when I finished my work. Like, I close 9, 10, sometimes I sleep in the office. But this particular one was a managerial role. I resumed 9 o'clock, I leave the office 4 p.m. It was sweet. Sweet life. I mean, sweet life. I wouldn't lie to you, it was amazing. But then, something told me that was not the reason why I said you should resign. But if you feel you want to go for that one, and you are fine with it, okay, fine, go. But you know, as a sharp guy now, I looked at the money like, man, double. Man, I went for the job. I worked first month, paid me the full salary, like, wow, this thing is real. Second month, paid me the full salary, like, wow, this is real. Third month, so I collected the third month salary, I resigned to start Agital. So Agital started that way. It started from my house. I had a great guy, Rufus. I mean, great guy. He has been with me since the start of Agital. So I met with him, we discussed, because he has done something for me in the past. So before the whole business itself, I was cutting PPs. I was doing personal projects like, so I was doing projects for a lot of persons. So I had accounts on Fiverr, I had PPH, I had freelance. So I was cutting PPs normally well. I had Rufus as a designer, so he does designs for me while I do development. So it all started as an intuition from God to meet the needs of businesses, to meet the needs of people, to meet the needs of organizations. So it wasn't okay, I just want to do business, let me just go into business. So that's actually how I started. You see, the truth is, beyond anything, you can only function properly in an industry you have background of, or an industry you have a proud knowledge about. So I cannot wake up and say I'm going into the medical industry. Well, I can succeed, or I might succeed because of some principles and business processes I've learned in the course of my business, but I cannot do well as someone that has a background in the medical industry. So the best industry for anyone to start up is where your strength lies. We all know where our strength lies. We all know where we actually have some edge. So the best place to start, or the best place to begin as a startup, is that particular place, that particular industry which you've got strength. Guys, honestly, like I said, I'm going to be very honest with you. One of the most important things you need to note before you start up anything, any business, is money is fuel. Like, money is fuel. Cash is fuel. See, get all the funding you can get. Get all the money you can get. All the capital you can get. Just get them. Because, guys, money is fuel. You see those people that tend to tell you, no, the idea is first. Well, I don't, I don't know, but then, see, just forget those guys. You need money, you need capital, you need cash. Cash is fuel for every business. So that's that. Then the second thing you also need to note before starting up is you don't just start and begin making money. It takes some time. You need to nurture the baby. See, I call it baby. You need to nurture the baby, you need to nurture the business. You need to grow the business to a point before you start reaping from it. It's just like a plant. At the initial stage, all you're just going to do is keep investing your time, investing money, investing resources. You nurture it from the start to the beginning, from the beginning stage to the point it becomes a full-blown tree and you start reaping from it. So those two things you need to take home with you. Note that you need money. Money is gas. Money is fuel. You need money before you start a business. To start a business, to grow a business, you need money. And secondly, you need to note that you don't just start today and begin making money. Right. All right. Well, I actually took a loan. I mean, this is me being honest. I took a loan, CBN YDP loan, and 7 million naira actually, yeah. But eventually I returned it. I did. Because I was questioned. You know, my whole journey is like a call. So I was asked a question. Who told you, or who says you should go get a loan? And I had to return the loan that same month. So I had no interest. So I returned the loan that same month. But then I had money. You know, I mentioned that I worked before then, and I got a job that paid me double. And I worked there for 3 months. So I had some money to start. So I didn't just jump right in. I had some money. So I mean, the amount now, I wouldn't say, but then I took 7 million naira to start off with, but eventually I returned it. So I started up with some money and I raised the fund through, CBN was disbursing loans for startup and entrepreneurs, small, medium scale businesses. So I applied. So that was how I was able to raise the 7 million naira. But then I also had money because I worked before then, and I gathered some money while I worked. I mean, I wasn't just spending and living a big boy life. So I saved, and I had some money to start up with. So that's actually how I raised money. talking about managing the competition. Yeah, the industry is very, very competitive. I mean, I must tell you the truth. My industry is very, very competitive. But then, we are quite different in our approach to working, our approach to deliveries. We stood out from the crowd because of our delivery. We are very creative. So 3 things about us, 3 things: creative innovations, intelligent designs, and project delivery. So those are the 3 cores of Agital, and those are the things that kept us different from the crowd. Creative innovations, intelligent designs, and project delivery. So we hold those core in high esteem. Every of our projects must meet those 3 requirements. Creative, it must be creatively innovated, designs must be very intelligent, and delivery on point. So those are the things we do that help us stand away from the crowd, because this market is so saturated. So that's that. Well, about getting clients and customers, honestly, to be realistic with you, various channels works for various people. Various things works for various people. I mean, you see a lot of people doing very well on social media. Yeah, we do well on social media too. But then I would say emphatically, our jobs, our projects, our clients, I mean the good projects. Yeah, we get projects from social media, but then the good projects are not from social media. That's the honest truth in my industry. Now for you, your business or your industry might be social media centric. So you might pull out leads or customers from your social media accounts and all of those. I'm not saying we don't get customers or clients from social media. We've gotten a lot. But I mean, the good project, it's more like saying the guys that can pay us the money we want are not on social media, honestly. So the guys that pays us the money we want, they're not on social media. It's not a question of, so how do you get to those guys? Like I said, honest answers, realistic answers. What we do is deliver our best for every single project. Now, the way it works for us, I mean, all glory to God, the way it works for us is referrals. Honestly, referrals. So good projects we've gotten, I mean, big projects we've gotten are all from referrals. And that's why we treat every single project as the same. So whether it's a small project or a big project, creative innovation, intelligent design, and delivery must be on point. So every single project, and that is actually what has been working for us. So people sees the project and like, who did this for you? They're like, oh, it's a company called Agital. Okay, can I meet them? And that's it. So social media does, yeah, marketing, online marketing, all of those things does. It does the work. We are there, we do them, we get projects. But those projects, those big projects, have always come from referrals. That's why we make sure every of our clients, every of our customers receive the best from us. And that's how we've been able to get in projects, get in customers, get in clients. All right. Okay, I'll tell you guys this, how I was able to get the right team to work with me. You see, I actually have a philosophy when hiring people as a startup. Well, that might not apply to my business now because we are now a medium scale business. We're not, yeah, we're 3 years, but then we've crossed some things. So those strategies currently is not what we use as it stands. But then in hiring staff, what we did from inception was, okay, I have the philosophy of hiring friends and family to work with me. Why? Because, I don't have money to pay professionals at that time. I don't have money to pay professionals. So I bring in friends, I bring in family that tend to understand what I'm currently going into and are ready to partner with me to start. So that is basically what I did. Every person that worked with Agital from inception, from the beginning, were known people. Like I said, friends and family. Every person that worked with Agital are known people. people that I know that are doing one or two things. Yes, they are not so good in what they do, but I took it upon myself to learn every single thing they do. So I taught a lot of them the things they do, different roles that were needed. I had to learn how to do those things myself. Then I brought in people that has passion for it, that likes the vision, and I began teaching them. So that's basically how I did it. But then that would not work for us. Now, yes, we've gotten to a point so we can hire professionals to get the job done for us. So that's how I was able to get people in. I hired friends and family that understood the vision and was ready to run with me on that vision. Okay, we've been able to manage the team to this point because the work environment is flexible. Back then, while I was working, it's so bad that you're always angry going to the office because the environment is so hard. The environment is so rigid, and that is the reason why I had to make Agital this way. I mean, the environment has to be easy. The environment has to be enjoyable. At Agital, honestly, we have a culture that says work is fun and the job still gets done. The system here is very, very much conducive. It's not rigid, it's not forceful, it's not, I don't know how to explain. But the thing is, I try as much as possible to make sure the environment is not rigid. We all are in sync, we all are together, we all play together, we all work together. We make work fun. We make work fun. So that's the way we've bonded and we've been able to get the team together up onto this point. There are methodologies, there are processes to manage work environment, but honestly, this has worked for us, and that is what we maintain. And I mentioned at some point that I want to use Agital as a case study to write a methodology of managing work environment, such that people love to come to the office. It's not a burden because the office is fun. The office is enjoyable. It's conducive. We play together. We eat. Sometimes we eat together. We go out, have fun, do some good stuff, and the work, it gets done. So those are the things we do to make the team together, and that has brought us to this point. Honestly, I don't read books. Like, I do not read books. People tend to ask me, so how then do you learn or do you know all of these things you know? Well, I read very well, but not books, not hard copy books, not novels. I don't know how to put it, but then I don't read books. So I research, like I'm a good researcher. If I need to know anything, I need to understand anything, I've got Google. I learn whatever I want to learn. I don't read books. So you might call a lot of, I've not heard of them. I don't even know the authors. So I'm not a book person, but I read. I'm a good researcher. So I find out. Now, I might come across a particular thing from a book, but it doesn't mean I'm going to read the entire book. Now, I'm trying to get the knowledge of a particular thing. I do my search, my researches, and I see something from a particular book. Yes, I add it to my bank of knowledge, but not like I read the entire book. So 3 personal development tips from me to you. 1 is work. W-O-R-K. And most people have come to understand this particular quote with me about work. I tend to say when I talk to people that work in itself, W-O-R-K, is not a curse. Work has been instituted before the fall of man. So God did not cause man to work because man fell. Man has started working before the fall. Even God himself worked. So you have to work. You can't just be lazy. You can't be lazy. So my first personal development tip for you, I started reading books, is work. Like, Doing. It's not the talk, like doing, working. So I call it working. The doing itself. Do things, do stuff, get on it, start it, do it. Not just the talking. I mean, you just have to work. We're not caused to work. Work has been before the fall of man. I mean, our first parent, Adam, worked, he named you animals, and this is before he fell. It's before the fall. Even God himself worked. He rested on the last day. So working is important. I mean, working is important. The second personal development tip I have for you is take risk. I'm a huge fan of risk. I'm a huge fan of taking risk. Honestly, you don't want to know the number of risks I've taken, but you just have to. You just have to take risk. It's either you win or you lose. If you win, great. If you lose, you learn. So you need to take risk. I'm a huge fan of taking risk. So the third personal development tip I have for you is be a researcher. Find out things, learn things, seek knowledge, learn things, research things. Don't just sit there. Learn, research, find out, learn things, be a researcher. I'm a big researcher. I don't read books, but I research. Okay, I got a job one time, which I eventually didn't resume with them. Someone just came out of the blues and he said he got my number from someone, and the person said, I can learn anything. And I'm like, yes, I pride myself in it. I can learn anything, except I don't have the interest. And you don't need to show me. I would research it. I would find out. So guys, you need to be a researcher. You just have to be. Number one, work. And like I said, work is not a course. It has been instituted before the fall of man, so you have to work. Number two, take risk. I'm a huge fan of taking risk. Take risk. It's either you win or you lose. And if you lose, you learn. And number three, research stuff. Be a researcher. Research. Find out, learn, gain knowledge. That's basically my 3 personal development tips I have for you. So my advice for intending entrepreneurs, intending startups, young startups, entrepreneurs is imbibe continuity. Imbibe continuity into you. Imbibe continuity. I would explain. Continuity for me consists of 3 things. Continuity for me consists of 3 things. Consistency, persistency, and insistency. Those 3 things are what makes up continuity for me. You see, I started business with a lot of people that I know at the same time. And today they are off the market. They are out of business. You see many persons, many entrepreneurs, they start a business, they start the whole thing, and they even have a website. And you just, okay, let me just even check this guy out. And you see the website is offline. I'm like, what's going on? Is there a problem here? And I would call, I'm like, what happened to you guys? I don't see your website again. I don't see your stuff. What's going on? And saying one thing, that's it. No continuity. So we need to imbibe continuity, irrespective, regardless. Like I said, it doesn't happen in 1 year. It doesn't even happen in 3 years. You need to imbibe continuity. I think I will leave you with those 3 things. Go do research. Go do your research. Find out what consistency means. Find out what persistency means. Find out what insistency means. And come to the comment section and share with me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Hi there. Welcome to this training. I am Oghoghozino and I'll be your facilitator throughout this training. In this training, we'll understand financial intelligence, financial literacy, money, basic financial concepts, and how the rich get richer. It definitely will be an amazing training. So please relax and follow through as we begin with the introductory lesson. financial intelligence. Before we jump right into it, there's a particular thing that is common to everybody. There is one thing we all have in common. The rich, the poor, every one of us have that particular thing in common. We all spend money. Yeah, money. Whether you have it in excess, you have it in just little quantity, you spend money. I spend money. The rich spends money. The government spends money. So every one of us are faced with this reality. Now the difference between the rich or the wealthy and the poor is being able to make proper financial decisions. Being able to make the right financial decision. You cannot make good financial decision if you are not financially intelligent or you are not a person with financial literacy skills. So I'll put this here, literacy. So we're going to be looking at financial intelligence, financial literacy. Now, having established the fact that we all have something in common, which is spending money, and the difference between the big boys and the small boys is being able to make good financial decisions. Now, if we look at it critically, what exactly would we say is money? Simply put, money is a means of exchange. Now, I would like to say money is a means of exchange of value. Because, I cannot pay you, I cannot give you money if you don't have something valuable to give me. So, you come with your skill set. If it's valuable, I would give you money for it. But if it's not, I wouldn't. So, I would define money as a means of exchange of value. Now, what exactly would we say is financial intelligence? How can we define financial intelligence? Simply put, financial intelligence is knowing what to do when making financial decisions so you don't run into a financial problem. I'll take that again. Knowing exactly what to do when taking a financial decision so you don't run into a financial problem. So we all are faced with these money problems every day, money issue. But when you are financially intelligent, you'll be able to face every money problem that comes your way. Naturally, most people, if not all, desire more. Everybody wants better. Everybody wants more. Everybody wants a better house, a better car. All of those good stuff of life. Currently myself, I use a Volkswagen Passat CC 2011 model. But I want more. I look to have an Audi Q7. So it is just natural. It's just the way it is. Everybody wants more. But then, you cannot want more and keep doing the same thing you do. Like someone said, it's actually insane to keep doing the same thing you are doing that same thing and you expect a different result. No, it doesn't work that way. You cannot keep repeating that same process and expect the result to change. No, it doesn't work that way. It's truly insane. You cannot keep doing that same thing over and over and expect a different result. And that's the reason why most people seek knowledge. That's the reason why they tend to learn things like this to help them get past that stage which they are to get more. So the first place to begin is awareness. Awareness before change. Now you need to be aware that this particular thing I am doing over and over and over again doesn't change the desired result I want. You need to be aware, then you change. So awareness before change. You just need to be aware that my current financial state or my current financial level cannot get me those things I want. And if you want more in life, you want to make a difference, or you want to make changes in your life, you just need to take charge of your financial life and get out of that rat race. Let's get something clear. This training is not to teach you how to amass wealth. No. This training is basically to make you understand the principles and concepts that you can apply to get your own strategy in order to take charge of your own financial life and become wealthy as the other guys. So now to overcome all of these money problems, you just need to be a person with financial literacy skill. And that is the difference between the rich and the poor. The rich know, they understand, like they are literate enough. They know when to make that decision. They know how to make good and smart financial decisions. They invest so much to learn how to make proper financial decisions. They are good students of finances. So they are very, very much financially literate. Now, let's quickly do an analogy for employees now. For employees, just an analogy to understand who makes better financial decision on transportation. Now, let's say we have two employees, employee A and employee B. Now, both of them, they live in Ajah, Lagos, Nigeria. And both of them works at, let's use the same office. Both of them works at VI, the same office. Now, both of them drives a 2016 Corolla. Their car, 2016 Corolla. Their car, 2016 Corolla. And let's analyze such that both of them bought the car at the same time, started a job at the same time, and going to the office at the same time. Now, let's try to analyze to see which of them will make, or which of them makes good financial decision concerning transportation. Now, for 1 year, employee A tends to pass alternative routes because why? It saves him 200 naira every single day. While employee B passes the toll gate and pays 200 naira every day. Now, critically looking at it, for 1 year, who do you think will incur much expense on car maintenance? Now, let's quickly do some analysis. Let's quickly analyze it. Both of them does this. Now, employee A passes alternative routes and he saves 200 naira. For a month, he has saved 4,000 naira, right? He has saved 4,000 naira. That's 4,000 naira. And employee B, in a month, he has lost 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira. Employee B loses 4,000 naira. That's 20 days in a month, 200 naira every day, 4,000 naira to the toll gate. While employee A saves 4,000 naira because he doesn't pay toll gate 20 days in a month. Now tell me, on transportation costs with their cars, who is much more financially intelligent? It's obviously employee B. Why? Because employee A follows the alternative route every single day, and the road is so bad, it causes wear and tear on his car, and he visits the mechanic all of the time and pays so much to get his car fixed. Every time he's complaining the legs of the car are shaking, he takes it to the mechanic, while this guy pays the toll gate and follows the toll gate. His car is in good shape. No bad road. Yes, bad road. No bad road. And again, if you remember the definition of a straight line, I mean, if you remember that definition, it is the shortest distance between 2 points. So this guy is saving more time. Employee B is saving more time because he passes the toll gate, which is a straight line. He gets to the office faster. This guy gets to the office later. Now, this guy has more time for himself. This guy has no time. So employee B makes the most financial decision because this guy is saving 4,000 naira. He's not saving 4,000 naira. He's spending more. When he goes to do maintenance, he spends more than this guy. Employee A thinks he saves more. He saves money because he saves 4,000 naira in a month. While this guy pays 4,000 naira. This guy is much more financially intelligent because the alternative route this man passes, it causes wear and tear in his car. And he has to go to the mechanic to fix this car, and he spent so much more than this guy. So employee B is financially intelligent than employee A. Moving on to the next thing, basic financial concept, why the rich gets richer. Let's quickly check that out. Basic financial concept. Before we go into how the rich gets richer, let's quickly understand some of the basic terminologies we'll be using to explain that. So, cash flow, expense, assets, liability. Now, Cash flow is the money you bring in. Expense is the money you spend. Assets, it gets controversial here because what we tend to know as assets before now is whatever we own. So I own a house or I have a house, it's an asset. I have a car, it's an asset. But Robert Kiyosaki changed this. I mean, it has changed I think in 1990. He came up with something which is actually valid. So asset is what pays you. Pays you money. And liability takes away money. Now, let's critically look at it. Cash flow brings the money you bring in. Cash flow is the money that you bring in. Expense is the money that you spend. Assets pays you money, and liability takes away money from you. Right. Now, let's look at this. Cash flow, expense, and assets, liability. Now, we're going to look at how the rich spend their money that makes them more richer. You know, we said we're going to look at why the rich or how the rich gets richer. And this is actually how the rich get richer. The rich people acquire assets. They acquire assets. Now, remember we said assets is anything that pays you money. Now, they acquire assets. Now, this asset pays them money here, and there's cash flow. You see, someone said something. He said, the rich is not concerned about expense, liability, or whatever. They are concerned about cash flow. What brings in money? What keeps bringing in money? So what they do is they tend to buy assets. They buy assets. The assets brings in cash flow. Now, let's say for instance, they buy an asset. Now that asset brings in cash flow. Now, say for instance, the asset brings in a particular amount. Now what they do is they take the profit from this place, from this cash flow, take the profit, use it to buy another asset. And same thing, they make more, use it to buy another asset and keep recycling and keep recycling and keep recycling. That is how the rich gets richer. But you see the poor people, all they do is acquire liability. Anything can be an asset. Anything can be a liability. So long as it keeps paying you, it's an asset. So if I have a house, and I put a house for rent, and that house keeps bringing money for me, it's an asset. But if I have a house, and I keep spending money on that house, it is a liability. So that's what differentiates the rich from the poor. The rich acquires assets and recycle that asset. The asset produces cash flow. Now that cash flow, they use to acquire another asset, and that's actually how the money cycle works for the rich. So I cannot say these are liabilities and these are assets. It is just simple. Whatever pays you money is an asset. Whatever takes money from you is a liability. So I can say education itself is an asset because you learn something that helps you increase your cash flow. So education is an asset. That's basically what the rich does. They acquire assets. The asset brings in more cash flow. Now they use the profit from that cash flow to acquire another asset. Now that asset, the new asset they acquired, bring in more cash flow. Now they use the profit from that one to acquire more assets. That is just how they continue doing it. That's how the money cycle works for the rich. Just keep acquiring assets, acquiring assets. So I cannot practically tell you these are assets, these are not assets. Asset is anything that pays you money. Liability is anything that takes away money for you or costs you money. So real estate, yes, is an asset. Education is an asset. So long as you are able to learn something that helps you increase your cash flow, it is an asset. Real estate, I have a house and I place that house for rent and it pays me money, it's an asset. Just the same way the house can be a liability if it doesn't pay me money. So I believe we've been able to understand one or two things about financial intelligence or financial literacy. Thank you so much. See you in the next training. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you did, please subscribe to this channel. Also, please share the link to this training so others can benefit from this. Thank you so much and see you in my next training. Bye.